What if I told you that right now you're making mistakes that could cause you decades of happiness, success, and love? Mistakes you don't even realize you're making. Mistakes that I made when I was in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and into my 50s and 60s. But here's the good news. It's not too late to fix them. We're going to talk about the 7 biggest life mistakes you need to stop making today if you want to start living a happier life. Stick around. After each mistake, I'll share a quick, powerful tip to help turn things around. These tips could change everything, so don't miss them. Let's start with the most dangerous mistake of all: wishing your life away. Mistake number 1. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when the time is right, or when you feel ready, when life calms down, when everything is perfect? Here's the hard truth. Perfect moments don't just happen. They're created. And while you wait, my sister, life just keeps on moving. Dreams gather dust and regrets pile up. Real change doesn't start when everything is perfect. It starts when you decide to just make one small, imperfect step. It's yours. And it matters. Stop wishing, start doing. Your perfect moment is the one you choose to create. Write down one thing you've been putting off and do it this week. The life you're waiting for is actually the life you're wasting by wishing. So stop wishing and waiting and start doing. Mistake number 2. To start doing, you need to learn one word that most people are afraid to say. Does this sound familiar? Oh, yes, I can do that. Okay, sure, I'm there. I can help you. Yeah, I may have to move some things around, but don't worry about it. I got it. I got you. I can be there. Yeah, sure, yes. Your yes boundaries are all over the place. You're saying yes to everyone and everything because you don't want to disappoint anyone. Or you're going to feel guilty, and you don't want to feel guilty. Or you feel like you should do it. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your dreams or goals, you say no to yourself. Let that sink in. And here's what happens. Your energy, your time, your peace of mind, it all gets drained. And at the end of the day, you're left with nothing left to give. Not even to yourself. But what if you could reclaim your power? What if saying no wasn't selfish, but necessary? Necessary to protect your dreams, your energy, your joy. Listen, no one gets more than 24 hours in a day. And setting boundaries on what you say yes to is not about shutting people out. It's about letting yourself in. It's about creating space for what truly matters in your 24 hours. Here's the tip. Practice saying no to one thing this week that does not align with your dreams and goals. Every time you say no to what doesn't matter, you're saying yes to the life that you deserve. Mistake number 3. Even when you start doing and saying no, There's one emotion that can hold you back more than anything else. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It is time to let it go. Anger feels powerful, doesn't it? It's like a fire that keeps you all warm. But here's the truth. That fire, it isn't protecting you. It's actually burning you from the inside out. Every time you hold on to anger, you're chaining yourself to the past, to the people who hurt you, to the pain that you've been carrying for years. And while you're stuck there, replaying what happened to you, life is just passing you by. Your dreams, your joy, your peace, they're all waiting on the other side of forgiveness. Don't get it twisted. Forgiveness is not about excusing or ignoring what happened. It's about freeing yourself. It's about saying, I won't let this pain control me anymore. When you let go of anger, you make room for joy, for peace, and for the life you deserve to live. Here's the tip. You're going to sit down and write a letter to someone that you're angry with. Write down everything you are feeling and what you want to say to them, and don't hold back. Don't hold back. Take your time. And when you're finished, read it out loud as if they're right there in front of you. And then you take that paper and you burn it. This technique helps release the weight that anger holds on your possibility of any joy. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. Let go and see how your life changes. Now, let's talk about the one thing you already have, but you probably aren't using enough of. Your intuition. Your intuition is like your superpower. But most of us ignore it. Why? Because we're too busy listening to everybody else. How many times have you ignored that little voice inside of you? You know, that little voice says, screaming, "Don't eat the fried chicken inside the gas station." But no, you're hungry. And you just do it anyway. Okay, so you brushed it off, and maybe you thought, what's the worst that can happen? Spoiler alert. The worst thing happened. And now you're stuck with wasted time, wasted money, and regret. Your intuition isn't just a feeling. It's your inner life coach. It's the part of you that knows that eating that third slice of pizza at 2 a.m. in the morning, it's a terrible idea. But hey, we've all been there. Reconnecting with your inner voice doesn't have to be perfect. It's about creating space to listen. Even if that space is just 5 minutes between chaos and caffeine. When you trust your gut, you stop second guessing yourself. You start living a life that feels authentic, aligned, and true to who you are. So here's how you're going to start. You're going to spend at least 5 minutes in silence every day and begin listening to what your gut is telling you. As you go along, you'll really get in tune with you, and you'll start seeing changes. You'll start seeing how you feel when you make certain decisions that are not in alignment with you. Your intuition is your own personal built-in compass. If you trust it, it can lead you to a life you enjoy living. But here's the secret. Your intuition works best when you embrace what makes you unique. Mistake number 5. How many times have you changed yourself to fit in, to be accepted, to meet someone else's expectations? You were born to stand out, not to fit in or be a copy of someone else. Why are you hiding what makes you different? Every time you hide your true self, you pay a price. Your energy, your joy, your sense of who you are, it all gets burned under the weight of should. I should be this. You should be that. You should be like these things. Really? But here's the truth. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs you and the light you bring. Your quirks, your passions, your unique way of looking at the world. That's what the world needs. When you stop hiding who you are, you give yourself permission to shine. And that light, it doesn't just change you. It changes everything around you. Your uniqueness is not a flaw. It's your superpower. And with a world full of copycats and followers, the world needs you to be you. Now more than ever, it needs your weird laugh, your questionable dance moves. Here's the tip. Identify one thing that makes you different and just lean into that this week. Just do that and do you. See how that makes you feel. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs you. It needs your magic. Speaking of magic, there's one thing you're probably holding on to or hiding that could change everything. Number 6, you think protecting your heart is keeping you safe. But what if it's actually keeping you lonely? You want love, but it's scary to think, what if they don't feel the same way? Or what if you get hurt again? I get that. Especially if the last time you let your heart open, it got broken into what felt like a million shattered pieces. You remember maybe not wanting to get up out of bed because the heartache was so tough that it felt like a toothache in the center of your heart. And ever since, you've kept your heart and your love locked up and locked away. You tell yourself, you don't need love. And you say that love takes too much emotional energy. And that you're just fine on your own. But deep down, you actually really miss it. What if I told you love isn't what broke you? Fear did. fear of being vulnerable, fear of being abandoned, fear of not being enough. But love, real love, doesn't take, it gives. It holds space for you, even when you're afraid. You're not too broken to love again. You're just learning to trust the signs that your intuition gives you, to know where that energy can be given and where it shouldn't be given. So you're just learning to trust yourself. You're not broken. Trust the signs your intuition gives you about where you should and where you should not put your loving energy. Here's the tip. You're going to try this just to get back in the saddle and start again. Today, you're going to tell one person you appreciate them. Have no expectations and do not wait for the right time. Just give love freely, unconditionally. Give it out loud. Love is the most powerful force in the world. Don't hide it. Don't hold it back. Share it and watch how your life changes. But even with all of this, there was one last mistake that could keep you stuck forever. And that is mistake number 7. You're not stuck because you're lost. You're stuck because you're scared. But here's the truth. Staying the same is scarier. Trust me on that. Let's go through some of the signs of being stuck. Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions? Same routine, same thoughts, same life. But deep down, something feels off. You used to dream bigger. So why does it feel so impossible now? Fear of failure. You got comfortable with what's familiar. The voice that says, maybe this is just how life is. Well, honey, these are the signs that you're stuck. But stuck isn't permanent. And change, it doesn't start with a leap. It starts with one small, courageous step. Because here's the thing. Stuck is not a place. It's a mindset. And baby, it's time to break free. So ask yourself, what is one thing you can do today that your future self will thank you for? My sister, you don't have to have it all figured out. Just move. Make some movement, even if it's messy, even if it's scary, because you are meant for more. Tag a friend who needs to hear this, because I know I got lots of sisters out there who need to hear this. Okay, so for me, when I was stuck, cleaning my closet and getting rid of things, old stuff that didn't serve me anymore, that worked wonders. It was symbolic of getting rid of energy that no longer belonged in my life. This made room for me to have the energy of things in my life and in my space that made me feel good and unstuck. You weren't born to stay stuck. You were born to grow, to thrive, to live this life. Life is way too short to waste on these mistakes. You have the power to change your story, starting today. If you've reached this part of the video, I just want to say thanks for hanging with me through these mistakes. I've made all of them. Believe me. And if this video resonated with you,